What's going on, everyone? It's Jeremy with JMed's Brick Clicks. I know it's a little late, but I want to kind of go over a few of the mocks that I made for 2023. We've got several, so let's get started. We'll start out with the ones behind me. Okay, first one, my scout campground. We've got water, we've got beach, we've got mountains, lettering for our sign. We even got clouds in the sky. Our campground where all our scouts are sitting around cooking. Got some guys back there, and it's kind of hard to see, but there is a cave back there. So yeah, that's my first one, even though the camera doesn't want to cooperate. Let's take a look at the other stuff. Now, the biggest mock that I made this year, or at least this past year in 2023, Scrooge McDuck's money bin. Something that I've wanted to make since I was a kid. I love this design. It's a great addition to my city. Nice, I don't know, skyscraper or not, but it's a nice tall building that I added. Getting all the shaping right. Having Scrooge's office up here. The big dollar sign, our front door. We come around to the back. If you guys haven't seen this, yeah, it's a little bit more complicated build than you'd think with just a big square building. But I did add Scrooge McDuck. We got the vault door behind him. You see his green and yellow rug. And the boys playing in the gold. My next model that I added, kind of it seems like a 19-teens, 1920s era monorail train station. So we've got our rotunda on the top, our glass domes. We'll sit down here. You can see people waiting for the monorail, which is way at the other end, going into the museum building that I have with the rotating restaurant at the top. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. This gold and black color scheme with the blue windows. Oh, and the stairway going over the road. I'm really happy with the way that turned out. So it was a really busy time on the farm this past year for my Lego farm. I have a whole bunch of things that we're going to cover in just a second. One of the things that did come out of it that kind of can go anywhere are these custom trees using dark green, and you can see kind of how they're made. They do have several of them here, kind of make for a good backdrop. If you guys have questions, I did a video on these last year, or yeah, early last year. But yeah, nice kind of evergreen trees covered in snow. So like I said, it was a busy time on the farm. We got several of these builds. Let's take a look at all of them. One of my early builds, last February or so, was this custom backhoe, which I'm very happy with. Kind of works out really well. Our bucket, our backhoe attachment, using some of the old pieces from the 80s and 90s on those hinges. And the bucket piece, which Lego is still yet to make a replacement for this rear backhoe bucket attachment. We do have outriggers that, when placed, yeah, it can support it as much as you want it, which is something that somebody asked me about, which I don't know if I really showed that much in detail in the past on the individual video itself. But yeah, the perfect. Just turn your guy around and you're good to go. So that's been a nice addition. I need to do a video on some of my custom construction vehicles. That might be a future video idea. All right, what else? So we have a lot of tractors that came out of 2023. This vintage one, kind of you wouldn't be, I mean, it's hard to imagine spending 3 or 4 hours on a design, but when you're creating something from nothing, so many trial and errors come about. So this one, you can actually, yeah, the wheels turn. It's just put together with the one stud, but as long as it's you're a little careful with it. Yeah, see, it doesn't want to do it all the time. But for posability, absolutely, you've got steering, which is what this whole column is for. We've got our PTO shaft in the back and our coupling hitch. Here's the other side. You can see this, yeah, we have a floating seat, which is realistic for this type of tractor. But yeah, I just wanted to do kind of an older vintage tractor, 1930s, 40s, maybe 50s, as late as the 50s era with the tractor. But yeah, you know, it's not perfect, but it works for me. All right, what's next? Another one, I made a little John Deere 1025, which is the subcompact tractor, kind of the smallest tractor that John Deere makes that you consider a tractor, which is bigger than any of the lawn and garden tractors or just lawnmowers. So a 1025, what do we have on it? We've got a little backhoe attachment. Works out well using those, I think those are Castle launchers. We have our mower deck with our chute. And because the Kubota BX is, I mean, nearly about the same with very minor differences, and I mean, for the most part, near the same in price, near the same in just about every aspect, I made an orange one, and it was actually harder than you think because orange is still a rare color where a lot of pieces don't exist. Namely the fender piece, which you see right by my thumb here. Yeah, we had to use this one because this one doesn't exist in orange. Same thing with the wheels. They don't make that design wheel in orange yet, so that's why we have a little bit of, yeah, a little bit of creativeness going on there. You can see our edger side on the mower deck on the one side, and then our discharge on the other side. Mower deck comes off, so if you just need it as a tractor, sure. And somebody wanted me to just make an orange tractor because I have so many green ones. If you check out my farm videos, check out the farming playlist. There's probably 200 plus videos of just farming related video content, custom builds, my farm, how to build some of the stuff. Check that out. So yeah, so we got those two little tractors along with that one. What else do we have? Well, I built my own custom design, another little tractor. And I know you're thinking, oh, it's just another tractor. Well, this one was something that I wanted to play with to add steering and kind of a suspension. So that's what I did, using that ball and coupler joint so we can steer it. Or if we need to pose it on something, like say he's going over a rock, sure, we can do that. And that's kind of how you do it, is just build it just like that. So if you're interested in trying that design, hey, feel free to use my idea. And the only thing I ask is that you try to make it better. So yeah, the back of it, we've got our 3-point, we've got our lift arms and our top link. We've got our little coupler hitch. We've got our roll bar ROPS, our lights, our exhaust. So you're thinking, well, you made a red one, why didn't you make a green one? Well, I did. I actually made the red one first, but the green one, I added a lot more to it. We'll start in the front. So we added a custom built bucket with, yeah, loaders, the loader arms to be able to load. You can see our operator station, bringing in close. And yeah, those are just brick built loader arms with clips. Okay, let's look at the back. Now the back piece, this is what took a while to build. Now this one I think took several hours as well. I would not doubt I probably have about 8 hours in this project along with this one combined to get these things right. The loader arms, we have a backhoe attachment. Same thing as our other backhoe. Right here, using the old bucket design. The old, the older style stuff. We do have outriggers, which I'll try to bring it down a little bit. And the outriggers, if it's, yeah, okay, there we go. So, sure, it supports itself. The hardest part about this was making a detachable bucket. So just like the tractor that I have, which is a John Deere 2032R, real life John Deere tractor that I keep in the barn, I wanted to make a tractor with a detachable backhoe, which is what I did. And aside from the chair, got the whole rest of it, just using the clips right there to be able to clip it in. And the bucket, actually, the chair should sit right there. And there you go. So a detachable tractor, which the tractor right there in its own right, it's not a bad tractor. It kind of reminds me of a 1980s style or early 90s style tractor. I don't really have a model number for you on that one, but that's what it reminds me of, with the bigger flat top fenders. And to click it back in, all we have to do is, and I wanted to add this, so I had to make this little cavity there for that to sit in, and it just clicks in. And having that little coupler hitch doesn't allow this to bend down too much. You can see there's a little play, but not much. And that's about as good as I could get. And yeah, it's very fragile, but it does work and looks decent on a shelf. Okay, let's pull this back some. What other stuff have we built this year? Well, not just tractors. We've added some attachments and some implements for the tractors. So we'll just implements. So one of the first things, we added a planter. So I have a big field on my Lego farm that I kind of rotate out and kind of do row crops like corn, or maybe just do other stuff and just put the cattle or the horses out there. But this one I made for my row crops. It is a planter. So we've got our two big planters where all the seeds are. And I had to make it foldable, which, man, this thing took several hours too to get it right, because I needed it to fold. That way, if I had it on a Lego road plate, it would fit, semi-fit on a lane, so I could actually transport it. So that's what that is. You can see we have all kinds of the strings, which I'm kind of using to represent hydraulic lines. Our splitter here, which I'm really happy with the splitter design of this for the hydraulics to allow it to open and close. Okay, our next one. This one took a while as well. And I know you're just like, wow, that's a kind of a hodgepodge mess right off the bat. But let me show you. So our hydraulic lines, that's what our ropes are for. What we have here is a kind of a tiller ripper plow that folds up. So we used all the teeth to make it fold up. Open it like that. I think we just need to do a little bit. Okay. Now on the back, we've got our little Technic rollers to try to level out the ground or just take out some of the clumps. Those drop. And you'll notice, yeah, it's built upside down. That was basically to work with the pieces that I had to make it work, and I'm pretty happy with it. I think if I had to do again, I might add extra tires to the outer sides. But for now, no problem, no question. I'm happy with it. I think that's probably about as good as I'm just gonna leave it like that. So yeah, pretty big design. Let me get a little base plate. That's a 16 long base plate. So for reference, we're probably 20. Yeah, probably 20 studs wide. The same thing before, being able to, actually, we'll just use this tractor, which is totally unrealistic because this tractor would never be able to pull this. But just for the reference of seeing it, and our front wheel fell off again. So I had to be able to make this fold up to also make it be able to be pulled down a Lego road. And there you go. What do you think? The next one I have is one of the more complicated and most in-depth things that I tried to make. I probably built and rebuilt 4 times before I was happy with it. So we have a big self-propelled boom sprayer. Spray your fields. You got to have be able to spray that herbicide, pesticide, and stuff on the fields. So we've got our steps that can go up if we need to. You can see our exhaust. Got our gas tank, our fenders, and yeah, it sits up really high. The coolest thing about it is by far the boom that I have, which is very wide. So if you can see kind of back here, I use these 16 by 16 plates just as a blue backdrop. So here to here, that's 32. And this one actually opens up really wide to be able to really cover a wide swath. So if we go to the edge, we are roughly 48 studs from there to there on width. And I'll show you the back, how it works. So we've got all these cords and all these hydraulic lines for try to make some realistic thing. Folds up. Using the old, you're actually using the new and the old pieces. So when I say new and old, yeah, those hinges, the hinges with the teeth on them. So we can raise and lower it for transport. We'll fold those in and then fold those up and then raise it up just like that. And if I get it set, there it goes. Perfect. What do you think? Now, I know one thing somebody commented on, and some of the resource material that I used, the tank's not yellow, it's gray. Yeah, I made a gray tank, but the yellow just looks so much more dynamic and looks so much better than this ugly gray tank. I tried both. Yeah, it just doesn't look that good. So that's why I did it, to make it look a little bit better. What do you think, yellow or gray? Okay, we got a few more. This is something that I had never heard of, never seen before in my life. You may have not seen something like this before. It's actually called a skidgen. And the only reason I know about it is because my 3-year-old son watches Blippi. Blippi went to a ranch and they had a skidgen. So this is used to fight fires, wildfires in the western part of the United States. I don't know brand names or anything, but our skidgen has the center rotating articulation. That's how it steers. This whole back part is filled with water. You can see, and just like in real life, they've got a water cannon on the back. You also have fire extinguishers and just basic firefighting pieces. A shovel, hatchet, axe, whatever. Front side, we've got our big protector bars if we're going through knocking stuff down. And the biggest thing here is the blade. So we've got our blade that can rotate back and forth. I actually stole this blade off of one of the Snow Groomer, little $12 Snow Groomer Technic set, and actually just kind of repurposed it to add the attachment piece and add this little lift arms there to drop it and be able to use it. Honestly, I can see something like this becoming an official Lego set. Maybe not my design exactly, but Lego, let's be honest, how many times we just got brand new fire sets? We have new fire sets that come out every year, and it's the same stuff. Lego, if you're listening, do a skidgen. Oh yeah, we have a little engine block on there, our little skull on the top. Yeah, perfect this design, and let's see a skidgen in the future from Lego. People around the world may not know what it is, but it's another fire vehicle that we could at least add to our fire collections, because if you're like me, you probably have 10 to 20 different fire trucks tiny ones from the 80s, bigger ones in the 90s and 2000s, some with lights, some with sound, or some of the new stuff that's just the 6 or 8 wide things. Let's see something like this built. What do you guys think? All right. Okay, so the next mock is just a simple little wishing well. You can see we got some blue down in there. We use those printed boards and kind of have it sitting right beside my house. Let me zoom in for you. Use those 1x2 with the rounded edges. And that just works great to be able to shape whatever shape you want. I think those are going to be a very, in any mock artwork design, those pieces are going to be way probably overused to the point because they're just such a great piece. Okay, my last 2 mocks are something that it's just something that is really special to me. The Thundercats, if you know, you know. If not, check them out. 1980s, middle 80s, that was the thing. 2 mocks here. The little one, micro scale, something I'm kind of getting into a little more. Micro scale Thunder Tank. And yeah, if you know the Thunder Tank, hey, it's kind of hard to build when you're using just a few pieces. So micro scale Thunder Tank. I made it to be able to fit on here. So we have our cat's lair. Fully enclosed. Zoom out as much as I can. Fold back, just a flat back. You can see the, I don't think caldera is the right word. The cutout for this. The mouth opens and closes just a little bit. The arms do raise up and close. And with the ravine, I had to be sure that I could make something for the retractable entranceway, which will connect and be able to put the Thunder Tank on it. I was ready to do that. I did videos on all these guys, so if you have any interest in any of them, just go to my Lego playlist. I think I have a Lego Customs and MOCs playlist. They're going to be on there. Just scroll back. Just scroll back through all the 2023 stuff if you want to see stuff more in detail, in depth. But yeah, that's really what I got for today. I just wanted to kind of go over these, maybe for my own record. Maybe if I go back a couple years from now and I see something like, when did I build that? So I can go back and see. So anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate your views. If you have any questions, leave me a comment. And I thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.